Please welcome the wickedly talented
Betches Video Club.
There's a mistake. You guys won Best Picture.
Oh yeah, they take it and they go.
I love it.
Anyways, welcome back to Betches Video Team Video Club, the show where the Betches Video Team talks all things movies and TV. It's like book club, but with way more screens. This month, we have been talking all about nostalgic spooky movies, and today is our final episode of the month where we are going to be talking about practical magic. And then we're going to throw the voting over to you, our audience, and we want you to decide, out of the four of us, who was the winner. Who had the best nostalgic spooky movie of the month? Your hosts today are
Jack Maloney,
Maddie Mahoney. I looked at the wrong coverage camera. Maddie Mahoney.
And Tess Tregellis.
How are we all doing? We're doing an early morning
great.
recording.
I know. Can you feel it in your eyes?
I can feel it in my eyes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
sort of Earl Morn.
Yeah, Earl Morn. Earl Grey tea Morn.
Yes.
Let's talk about practical magic, shall we?
Yes.
Let's talk.
Okay, here's a brief synopsis in case you were a bad student and didn't do your homework this month. Sally and Gillian Owens, born into a magical family, have mostly avoided witchcraft themselves. But when Gillian's vicious boyfriend, Jimmy, dies unexpectedly, the Owens sisters give themselves a crash course in hard magic. With policeman Gary Hallet growing suspicious, the girls struggle to resurrect Jimmy and unwittingly inject his corpse with an evil spirit that threatens to end their family line.
That is not the
That's
movie
not the
I
plot.
watched.
That's sort of the
Well,
plot.
here's the thing.
That's
That's the
unexpectedly
core.
they kill him.
That's the
Dies
core
unexpectedly?
of the plot. And there's a lot of other important stuff that happens as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Well,
I'm
I
like-
just think there's some key lines that are sort of. This feels like the winners write history.
Sure.
This is what they wanted the plot to be, but
Yeah.
when they cut it, it was a little different than
Okay,
that.
well, let's give it a little more context, okay? Let's talk. This was based on a book written by Alice Hoffman. It's actually a series of 4 books.
Oh.
And the screenplay was written by 3 people are credited with this. Robin Swycord, Akiva Goldsman, and Adam Brooks. Directed by Griffin Dunn, who also directed a bunch of episodes of The Good Wife, but is mostly known for his career as an actor. He was Nicky Pearson in This Is Us. And then also was in Dallas Buyers Club. He has tons of credits. Like, you look this guy up on IMDb, this is his trade. He has been in the biz forever. And then, of course, we have our stars.
Right.
Obviously, the main girls are Sandra Bullock as Sally Owens and Nicole Kidman as Gillian Owens. I don't think I even need to go through their credits. We all know who these people are. But basically, Sandra is playing the, like, I'm not as into witchcraft. I'm giving, like, grounded, trying to be normal sister. And then Nicole as Jillian is more like loving magic, like really exploring her wild side. She like moves out of the house at a young age and like marries this guy, and she's like, he's so intense, and like, she's the wild sister. Then we have their aunts. I love all the women in this. Like, this is
Me
one
too.
of my,
The
one of
women-
my
the
favorite
women were
things.
great.
It's such a good women movie.
It's good women.
So then we have their aunts who are sort of like mirroring them, right? We have Stockard Channing as Aunt Fran, and she's sort of more like Sally, right? Or I don't know if it's a perfect mirror, but
I think
they're both a little kooky.
Well, I think there's something in the whole movie about like the line of women. There's always 2 girls. It's always 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Like they're always.
It's always 2, 2,
sort
2.
of like the dark hair, the light hair.
The dark
like
hair, the light hair. Right.
That's kind of what they're doing there.
Yeah,
So
one brunette, one red.
Like, they're different.
They're different.
They're different
very
women.
different.
They're very
This is
different
diversity, guys. We have brunettes and redheads.
Oh, unfortunately, there's no diversity
None.
conversation to be had here.
No.
None.
Except the lack of it. So we have Stockard Channing as one of the aunts. We have Dianne Wiest as the other aunt. And then we have the daughters. So we have Evan Rachel Wood as Kylie Owens.
What?
The redhead.
Not Evan Rachel Wood.
Who is that?
From Westworld.
The blonde girl?
Baby.
No.
This is one of her first acting roles.
Wow.
Yep. And then a very special shout out to formerly known as Alexandra Artrip, who played Antonia Owens, the brunette daughter, who now goes by Lexi. She and I spent some time in the DMs
Stop.
Wow.
because she's a fan of Betches.
No.
And coming up, I have some really good behind the scenes stories from her.
Wow.
Tell.
Yeah, I will. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
This was her last acting role. She retired, as she put it, after this. And now she works in marketing.
What a great fun fact. She's like, I was in Practical Magic.
Yeah.
At the the onboarding Zoom call.
Literally.
The fun fact for Stay Aware.
Yeah,
that was me.
Yeah,
You could
that
actually
was
see me in all these scenes and with Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman, but I just sort of, that life was just so droll, so boring.
Not for me.
Not for me.
Yeah. And then, of course, we have the men. So we have Mark Fierstein as Michael, and he is playing Sally's first husband who has the curse, who dies. Shout out Mark. What
the
an
curse.
absolute cutie.
Cutie. Loved.
Cutie pie alert.
I was like, oh, he's cutie.
And I hate to say it, still cute to this day. And, you know, he's known for West Wing, Royal Pains. And then we have the ultimate husband, Aidan Quinn, playing Gary Hallet. He was known for Elementary. I never watched that, but I do remember like seeing it in ads on TV. And he plays the detective who falls in love with Sally at the end. Spoiler alert. Whoop. Okay, so that's our cast.
Spoil.
Now, do you guys feel that better represents the film than
Well,
the
it is
summary
the
I
cast,
gave?
so it does. That's the first accurate representation of the film that I've heard.
Okay, great. Guess the budget. Remember that Halloween Town, $4 million. Okay.
Okay.
How does
As
this
a reference
compare
point.
to Halloween Town?
So I'm going to say 18 million.
Okay.
I said 20.
75.
What? 75?
Well, think about the actor. Well, they were big by then.
Oh, yeah, they were
then
big
They were
by then.
big. Those were. I feel like this is the prime of their
They-
careers, low key, right?
They put money into these actors, and for what it's worth, that house. This is one of my fun facts. Constructed from scratch on San Juan Island in Washington, specifically for filming. Now, it was just the shell. There was nothing inside the house.
Wow.
But I mean, this house is like the house. This is goals. This
That's
is like,
the house.
oh my God, this house is everything. The detail they put into it, I can't believe they didn't find this house, that they built that.
They constructed that fully
That's
on
money
them.
in the
Yeah.
budget for sure.
They built a house that's $1 million.
You know what I thought when it was that Salem scene,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I was like, oh, another movie that's opening with this hanging of witches theme.
The gag.
So the house was built itself. I mean, the house was built just for the movie. They did fly parts of the house in for what?
My head went, the house built itself.
So the house
They had
built itself.
The parts flew in. It was very practical magic.
Very practical magic. No, but they did bring some of the house set to LA soundstage set, but I just thought that was so cool.
So cool.
And they
That
just
is wild.
demolished it after filming. It's gone. Doesn't exist.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
How did it do at the box office? Do you have that?
Oh, it tanked. This was a big miss at the box
Whoa.
office. 47 million.
Ooh, on a $75 million budget?
Yeah.
Yikes.
But actually that leads me to one of my questions, which is, why do you think that some of these films were, this is almost a through line through our films, why do you think they were not well received when they came out and then have become like cult sleeper hits as they've lived on?
I think it's the to your point, the kids who watched it, like the parents brought the kids to the movie. For the parents, they were like, this movie sucks. Then the kids were like, what a weird fever dream. So they remembered those like fun parts. And then they grew up and they were like, oh my God, practical magic. And then they rewatched it and were like bringing in the nostalgia of their childhood.
Right.
And so as they grew up, the cult following went with them. But like the initial reaction is, this is bad.
Right. I also think there's something to be said about this movie being ahead of its time in a couple different ways. I think these stars obviously have had massive careers since then. So I do think there's that thing of like, oh my God, when you fall in love with Sandra Bullock from like Miss Congeniality, say, you might be the type of person who goes back and is like, what else has she done that I need to see? Right? So there's that for her and Nicole. And then I also think there's a subject matter here that was not very attractive in the 90s when this came out, right? It's a cast of all women. The men are really not a major part of it at all. I mean, they're spoken about a lot. It probably doesn't pass the Bechdel test, but they're rarely on screen. And it's about like these old hags like living together without men and like how they kill men. Like that doesn't seem very 90s to me. Right. And then there's also, trigger warning, this domestic violence through line. And that is like, that's hard to sell at the box office, I think. No matter how many fun magical effects you have.
Yeah.
When that's the core of it, these women are getting away with murdering this man twice.
Quite
Yeah.
easily, might add. Sandra Bullock's character runs out of the house to cop guy, and they like, she's like spiraling because he saw the ring come out of the frog or whatever. And she's like, yes, it was his ring. Yes, I killed him. Do you want me to tell you how? Do you want me to tell you where he is? And they just glazed over that.
Yeah.
Never acknowledged, ever. And just was like, I summoned you here and I'm in love with you.
You know what?
It was so insane to me.
Counterpoint, I liked that.
Really?
I liked that because I'm sorry, but the normal thing when you are getting like a domestic violence situation in a movie is that the woman's a little bit at fault. And she was a little too crazy. She not necessarily was asking for it, but they try to make it like a little less black and white. And I liked that in that moment, that cop seemed to just be like, you know what? Clearly, this was a bad situation. You did what you had to do. Now, of course, we can't be condoning murder. I'm not saying that at all. But I just liked that it was just this unspoken thing of like, yep, we believe the women. And we're on their side. I think they really successfully keep the audience on the women's side the whole time.
I agree with that. And that's not even my problem with it per se. My problem more so is like, it's so assumptive in my, like, we just like never, she just said I killed him and we didn't have any kind of conversation about it. Like if he had been like, what happened? And she was like, you saw her face. Then, and he was just like,
they had already talked about her face. And also remember, he knows about that strangle victim.
He does.
At the hands of the ex. He knows enough about this really shady Jimmy guy by now. He knows what happened.
True.
I understand you're not getting like the hand-holding like conversation, but I just appreciated it. I don't think we needed to get into it more. I was like, yeah, it is black and white. This is not complicated.
Okay.
What's complicated is how we're going to break this curse.
That's
because these
what's
women deserve
complicated.
love. They deserve alive men.
But see, the gag is when they were exercising Jillian, aka Nicole, was that breaking the curse forever too?
I think so.
I thought so, but I couldn't quite tell.
I think so.
See, this is where it like I think there was a lot of screenwriting savvy here in some of the moments where it's like we don't need to explain everything, like we don't need to handhold through everything. But then I felt like sometimes we could have used a little more, not spoon feeding, but just a little more something to like clarify.
That's interesting because that brings me to another one of Lexi's things that she brought up with me.
Yeah, we got to get into this.
So Lexi said the movie had a ton of script changes. This is a direct quote. The final cut was incredibly different than the original draft. We would have new pages on set almost daily. And the movie is also very different from Alice Hoffman's source material. So that to me says one of two things, that either they were changing things in the moment as they were learning about, you know, what the actors were bringing to these characters. That can always be part of script changes. Also, I'm wondering if they're watching dailies back going, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
We need to add some stuff into tomorrow's shoot to like help clarify. And maybe the script wasn't as tight as it should have been before they went into filming.
Because there were so many jumps to different scenes where you're like, wait, where are we now? And then they were like, Midnight Margaritas.
That's
you're
how I
like,
felt.
okay.
A lot of like
which I actually loved that scene. Loved that scene.
Oh yeah, well let's talk about
Of course.
Midnight Margaritas really quick.
Yeah.
Fun fact about this, they're drinking real tequila. And Nicole supplied it.
So they're just kind of getting trashed on set?
They're getting trashed on set.
On screen even.
One thing, I forget which aunt it was, either Stockard or Dianne said that, you know, doing a party scene is hard. It's one of the hardest things to film because you have to act like you're in this great, like really loose mood for like 28 takes or whatever. And by take 28, you're not really feeling it anymore. But she was like, that was the best thing ever. And the crew was drinking with them.
Fun.
No.
And the director commented on it too. He was like, thank God the DP wasn't partaking because what we were able to capture was actually like really authentic and has become sort of this like seminal scene.
It was authentic. I really was like, oh, these bitches are just having fun.
Yeah.
They're just having fun. So they were genuinely just partying.
Genuinely partying.
Yeah, I'd rather have the Midnight Margarita scene than like any more exposition.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather have that random montage than them being like, so here's how you break the curse. Like,
No, exactly.
So it's like, okay, but I totally think the back and forth, it does feel like a montage of a movie. There's like a little bit of through line, but mostly just
a lot of vibes.
A lot of vibes.
A lot of vibes, which actually is part of what entertained me about it. Like, is part of what I loved and what I think is maybe the like cult, like the retroactive appeal of it, because it is kind of a movie you don't have to think too hard, because if you start thinking too hard you'll notice all the holes. But if you just like kind of like let it like wash over, you're like, this is just like two iconic actresses and two older iconic actresses like just being witches and like having men.
I liked that there wasn't a big emphasis on the magic. I liked that this seemed like a world I know very well. These are women I know. And it wasn't all about like the spells and the tricks. Obviously, that's important to the plot. But I just liked how grounded it was in reality. Like these seemed like actual people. Mm-hmm. Lexi, okay, here's some tea that she had about her co-stars. Ooh. Okay. She said, everyone I met was incredibly kind and friendly. Sandra Bullock called me Squeaky Mouse, part due to my costuming, part because of my squeaky voice at the time.
Oh, that's so cute.
Mouse.
Squeaky Mouse.
Squeaky Mouse. Nicole Kidman gave me a Barbie horse stable as a wrap gift, and I loved that thing.
Oh my God.
Wait, that's so cute.
I know. This is what happens when you make a movie with women.
And Sandra play your mom and aunt?
I know, how
literally
cool.
KMS. Like, yeah. I want that now.
And then Stockard Channing wanted me not to eat so much chocolate icing during that scene in the kitchen. Remember that when the girls first show up?
Yes.
She told me I'd get sick, but I didn't listen. I still hate chocolate icing to this day. You know when they jump off the roof at the end, the flying scene?
I liked that.
I wanted to see a lot more of that. I felt like they sort of cut around it, which I wasn't sure why, because Lexi said the last scene we filmed was the scene where we jump off the roof and fly. We were hooked up to harnesses in front of the green screen, and I remember thinking it was so cool doing flips and spins. They played We Are Family, and we all danced up in the sky. I mean,
core memory.
Core.
Wow.
Canon event. You know what it was also reminding me of? That episode of Gilmore Girls that we watched. Where they jumped off with the umbrellas.
True. If I jumped down with an umbrella, I don't think I would live to tell the tale.
I would pay to see that.
Would you?
Okay, my last story from Lexi is about a very big celebrity. So she said, I was about 7 when the movie filmed, so at times I was blissfully unaware of how cool some of the opportunities are. Here's an example. Evan Rachel Wood and I were on break from filming. We were doing our schoolwork. For child actors, when they're not filming, they're doing schoolwork. Anyways, this man poked his head in the room and said, hey girls, have you seen Nikki? Meaning Nicole Kidman. And we said we weren't sure, maybe she's in her trailer. He said thanks and kept walking. Evan turned to me and said, that was Tom Cruise. And I said, oh my goodness. We ran down the hall to our moms in the other room to tell them the news. Of course, our moms were like, where? But by then he was gone. Once the others had left, I quietly turned to my mom and whispered, who is Tom Cruise?
I was waiting for that.
I love that.
I was waiting for that.
Were they dating?
I think they were married at the time.
They were
Maybe we can get a fact check on that, Skylar.
Were they married?
Are you?
I'm serious.
I didn't know they were.
I'm serious.
This is enough, Jack.
I'm
Jack,
serious.
don't you know the famous meme of Nicole Kidman dancing down the street?
No.
Oh yeah, what is that?
That's after she got her divorce from Tom.
Whoa.
Because of...
I didn't know she could be into short guys. That's just my...
I think she's sort of tiny herself, no?
Is
No,
she?
I think she's
like 5'7".
She's 5'11".
Yeah, she's tall. She's a long girl.
Well, I think there were other issues at play.
Well, I think the short probably was like 80 to 90% of the issue.
So yeah, I just think it's so cute how like obviously a lot of those stories are really from a 7-year-old's perspective. Like you can just feel that in them, you know, the Barbie, the icing, who is Tom Cruise? Who is so cute.
Honestly, it must be such deep core shit because like honestly, I think about being 7, I don't remember that much.
I know. I don't
many
either.
memes.
And the ones I do remember are really like it felt like that was the entire year of being 7, you know?
Yeah.
But anyways, Lexi, thank you so much for being so generous and sharing all of these stories with us. And as of now, Lexi has not been asked back to Practical Magic 2. And same with Evan Rachel Wood. They've allegedly both been recast. But I'm thinking just give the girls their roles back because, you know, they're going to look
the same.
The perfect trajectory for when those girls grow up.
Or maybe Cameo or
Practical Magic 2 is coming out next year. Nicole and Sandra are both there. Joey King, I believe, is in it.
Okay.
And Maisie Williams.
And Stockard is no longer with
Stockard
us.
is in it. And she is alive.
She is alive. How old is she?
And Dianne is in it as well.
How old?
Wow.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Go off, Stockard.
But
Channing.
Dianne was in Only Murders in the Building last season.
Love.
Yeah. So everyone is really still working. Like in terms of our Where Are They Now corner, the answer is those 4 ladies are still just chugging along, working, doing the best work of their lives. And Evan and Rachel Wood is still working, and Lexi is she said goodbye to Hollywood for now. Okay, quote corner.
Mine is he's nice in a penal code sort of way.
Yes. Yeah.
He's nice in a penal code sort of way.
Like, what's penal code? It's like the
Don't tell her.
It's like the cop. It's like a cop jargon.
Law and Order.
It's Law and Order.
Yeah.
But penal, come on, penal code.
Right.
How are
Because
you
it
going to
sounds
say
like
penal code and
In a
not
time when most cops were men.
big penal energy? Come on, guys.
big
Come on.
penal
Big
energy.
penal energy. So that one's
BPM.
tough for
Well,
me.
the penal system, it's like punishment is what penal means. Law and Order vibes.
Yeah.
What about you? Favorite quote?
Well, honestly, it is the naked moon dancing when
So
they're
good. I have it written
Please don't let
down.
them dance naked under the moon. She's, oh no, the nudity is optional, dear. You'll remember.
As you will remember.
As you will remember.
So good. But
So
that's what I
funny.
mean about like the witch stuff being sort of just this like really like base reality, and then we're getting full character on top of that. Like the witch isn't the character. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just liked that. It felt like a new breath of fresh air for
Yeah.
these Halloween movies. Any other favorite scenes that you guys wanted to shout out, or are we sort of aligned on the margarita scene?
I live for the women coming together to be a coven.
Wait,
Yes.
I love that.
The call line where you were like,
The phone tree.
This is evil. And then they're like, the phone tree. And they were
Yes.
all like, girl, I'm there. There's a man who's like in your body. I'll get him out. Like, I
Yes.
love that.
Man in your body? I'm on it.
Yeah.
There's a man inside
We'll
you?
pry him out.
No questions asked. They weren't like, wait, should we be worried? They were like, girl, we got you.
That is like the doctrine of the phone tree. It's like if the phone tree is activated, it's serious.
It's
and you
serious.
don't question it.
You don't even, yeah.
Literally, and to a point where I was like, oh, we're just cool with witches now. Got it. All right, moving on.
Well, sort of, yeah.
Yeah, sort of. But see, here's the thing. Like, I do think there was so much like logic stuff in this movie that I was like, wait, what? But like, I loved it.
Yeah.
Like, I still love.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed watching it, and like, I would watch it again.
I would
just,
watch
like,
it again.
I'm just kind of like, I'm gagged. All right, we're okay with witches now. And she was like, I've always wanted to see the inside of your house, and I'm like, I thought you were the one.
That spoke to me.
Oh.
Because if I was looking at that house from the outside all these years, I got to get in there. So my big question for this film is manifestation real?
Yes. 100%. I'm getting really good at it.
Really?
Yes, I have visions and they come true.
Can you share your
I
secrets,
I
Tess?
basically get whatever I want just at the time I least expect it. So I always I manifest and then I'll manifest something.
Wait, I want to know more about what it looks like when you're manifesting something. What are
It's
you
just
doing?
it's just like visions. It's like playing a scene in my head of like something that could happen.
Okay.
It's almost like a little movie in my head.
Okay.
I make a lot of 11/11 wishes. That I think
We're
helps.
big on
We're big
11/11
on
here.
that. We're
Rabbit,
big on
rabbit,
that.
the first of every month.
Okay.
First thing you say.
Wait, what is it?
You have to say rabbit, rabbit. The first thing you say on the first of the month that gives you luck for the rest of the month.
But these are more like superstitions. This
Yes,
is interesting.
I do think it helps with the power.
I think
of
the
it.
wishing is
Okay.
manifest. I think the 11/11 wishes are
And
manifestations.
I also
'cause
think
that's the thing
saying
you
it
want.
out loud. Like I envision it in my head and then I say, I'm going to do this. I was like, I need 10K followers by my birthday. And boom, I hit it. I was like, I want 100K by the end of the year. Boom, I hit it.
Wow.
And so I just think if you say it and then other people hear you say it, then people are rooting for you and they manifest with you.
Yeah.
So I think if you're internally manifesting, you're like, oh, I really wish I could find a man. It's like, no.
You have to
say
speak it.
You have to be like, I'm looking for a man. I'm looking for this new job. You have to say it out loud to everybody.
Okay, got it.
To everybody.
So I
Everybody.
want to ask a question. I'm not trying to poke holes or be devil's advocate. I'm
for
asking
it.
because I'm curious because I want to do that, but I don't understand how is that different than like goal setting.
Well, you have to believe it. And I
Right.
think when you say it more and more, you start to believe it.
But I'm
It
not
just
gonna
becomes
lie.
the norm.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
like,
not gonna
well, this
lie.
is inevitable.
You're like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I think goal setting is the more practical magic version. To be honest, that is practical magic.
Right.
Because I do think goal setting is very much manifesting because you're saying, I'm gonna do this thing by this date, and that's literally what SMART goals are: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic,
Wow.
and time bound. Like
Mine are not
there's-
time bound. That's the only thing I think is different.
I think the thing about manifestation is it's not going to happen the way you think it is.
No.
Like you will happen. It just won't happen when or how you think.
Right.
It won't. Like, honestly, I feel like this job is something I manifested and like working here because I saw Ruby working here and I was like, that's something I really feel like I could do.
Shout
And,
out
like,
Ruby Carp.
But it took like 2 years for me to be in the place where I was ready for that.
Right.
And I knew in my heart, I was like, it'll come when it's supposed to come. And then I met Tess at a holiday party.
I
So
know.
like
So random.
So random.
Yeah.
But that was the universe saying, okay, now you're ready.
Here's your opportunity.
And I had been doing the
Door
work.
open.
I had been doing the work. So it opened the door for me when I was ready. If it had opened the door for me a year before, I wouldn't have had anything to show for myself.
Right.
You know, I would have been like, well, I'm sort of doing these things.
Yeah.
No, I was fully doing them.
Okay, yeah, I'm aligned with this version of manifesting. I think the manifesting that I have like such a, I don't know, personality aversion to is when people are like, I want this thing. I'm thinking about it all the time and I'm going to get it. It's like, how? How?
Yeah.
I think you have to do though, you know, you
have to
definitely have to
do.
do because Tess, even with you like talking about some of those goals, like you didn't say I want 100K and then sit on your couch for 6
Exactly.
months. Like,
Yeah, there's action
exactly.
behind
did a
it.
lot of things to do that.
Yeah.
But like you did a lot of things and and you put the intention of what you were going to get out there, and then it came.
Okay, so manifestation is real.
But I also think you can manifest like a parking spot. Like when you go into and you're like, there's going to be one there. I know there's just going to be a parking spot right in front. And sometimes
I
you're
actually
like,
do agree with that. I do agree with that too.
Okay, agree, and it's a yes and situation. I do think that's also just like shifting the way you look at the world.
That's true.
You're choosing to see opportunity, abundance, possibility. And so even if it did take you 20 minutes to find that parking spot, you're still like, see, there was one.
Yeah.
You know what? That's such a good point.
Do you know what I mean? But it's about your
I get
mindset.
it.
Totally.
But mindset is matter.
Mindset is everything.
And it is magic because honestly, like when you go into things with openness of it's gonna work out, I'm gonna figure it out.
Yep.
When the challenges come, there's none right now. Let me make a couple more rounds. Then it does open up.
Right.
Hey, I knew I would get one.
Exactly.
It just didn't happen exactly how I thought.
Yep.
But it doesn't matter because I knew I would get one. Right? You know.
Period.
Like,
okay, well, that brings me to my final question, which is if you could write a manifestation spell for a perfect man, what would one of your ingredients be?
Well, a prince. Obviously.
Check.
Got one. And humor. That's something I need, like the quick wit. Like just like kind. I think just kindness is like so important.
I sort of feel like that's like the flipping pancakes thing in the movie. It's like he can flip a perfect pancake. It's like, somebody who can do that, they're gonna be pretty kind.
Yeah, but that's a childlike wonder.
Childlike wonder, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're at 3 already.
I'm at 3, so I'm done.
That's your 3.
that's it.
Maddie.
Oh, me next.
Yep.
Okay, well,
And they better all relate to Brad, your husband.
can I repeat? Yes. Because for me, humor is so important, but that's also more like optimistic outlook on life.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't take themselves too seriously, but takes what they do seriously. Mm-hmm. And like driven.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would also say like an open mind.
Mm-hmm.
Open to new ideas, new experiences, open to life going a different way than you planned.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you can find a guy with those 3 things, you're in really good shape.
That's tea. So I'm gonna be the boy here, and
Okay.
I will have a looks-based one, but
Yeah,
they're not
of
all
course.
looks-based.
Well,
I will. She did too, though.
She did
one
too.
blue, one green.
One blue, one green.
All
Eye. Give us your 3
the first
looks.
thing. Okay, my number one thing, my tip of the pyramid is entertainment reciprocity. Here's what I mean. I need to be deeply entertaining to you. Like you need to find me funny, but you need to be deeply entertaining to me.
That's good.
But not be a comedian. I don't do comedians. So entertainment reciprocity. We sort of constantly making each other laugh.
Love it.
You know. Mm-hmm. Then I would say this is sort of a vibe thing that sort of includes look, but like gives a lot of potential for diversity of look. I like guys who are like snowboard surfer types.
Okay,
You
got
know what
it.
I mean?
Snowboard
Kind of
surfer type.
Snowboard surfer type.
Yep.
Because it speaks to like adventurous
Yep.
and active and like hopefully he goes to the gym a little bit because I don't hate that.
Okay.
So like all of that stuff.
Love.
And then the third thing, I need him to be grounding because
Grounding energy.
I'm up here like a lot,
Okay.
almost always,
Yeah.
as you know, constantly up here.
Uh-huh.
And my anxiety
down
can
here.
kind of go up here. I need him to be like super stable.
You need him to
super
grab the
stable. It's
balloon
like,
string.
Like I can, but
pull
I
it
can also,
down.
but I can also like inject him with helium and bring him up.
Beautiful.
You know, so we sort of there's a lot of like I need like a lot of dichotomy. I feel like
Yeah.
I cannot date somebody like me. Like I think I need somebody who's like very yin and yang.
Different.
For me, you
I
know?
like that.
We're in our late 20s, early 30s. So our perspective is like so different than when we were 7.
Yeah.
And making this list, like when I was 7, I would be like,
Like she is
Well,
in
you
the
still
movie.
said Prince.
I still said Prince. The Prince would be like brown hair, blue eyes, like on the run from the law. You know, like it'd be very like toxic
Yeah. Yeah.
and basic.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
On the run from the law.
Yeah, I liked a bad boy.
Yeah, Skylar, what's your big 3?
Wow, I wasn't prepared for this.
Guys, welcome Skylar, our producer.
Our final segment today is my 30-second pitch for why Practical Magic is the best nostalgic spooky movie of the October month of Betch's Video Club.
Now,
This is a fun, magical movie, but it is also so much more than that. At its core, it's a movie about sisterhood and friendship. It lets women get away with murder and keeps you on their side the whole entire time, and it does it with a banger soundtrack. It also has a great budget behind it, values great actors, takes itself seriously, has amazing sets, and justifies the magic while staying grounded in reality, which lets it stay fun and magical. This is so much more than just a Halloween movie. This is a movie you can watch year-round. How much more time do I have? And everyone looks amazing. The outfits are incredible.
Yeah, the outfits. We didn't even talk about their hair. Oh
The
my
fits.
god.
Oh, their hair. Their hair.
Their hair.
Their hair.
Such good hair. And that brings us to the very end of our October series for Best Nostalgic Spooky Movie. Now, what comes next? Voting, of course. This is a democratic system. It always has been and always will be. We are going to post a poll on our community tab on our YouTube page. Okay, so you go to YouTube, you go to Betches, click the community tab. You're going to see a poll there. It's going to ask you which movie you think should win this month. Now, if going to YouTube is like a whole thing for you, we're also going to have the link to our YouTube page posted on our Instagram, okay? So you can check out the Instagram stories. There's going to be a link there leading you to the page where you found this episode. The poll is also there right now. It's there right now. We need you to vote. And then before we start next month's episode, which is movies with food in them for Thanksgiving, okay? We will announce the winner in a YouTube exclusive segment just for you guys, okay? We really need everyone's help with this. I don't want to see 6 votes in there. I want to see dozens of votes, okay? If you're in line, stay in line.
Hundreds,
thousands, millions of votes, okay? Okay, and as a quick note, if you want to get started early on your homework, because you're a really good student, here are your movies for next month. Movies with food. Jack, what's your movie?
Julie and Julia.
My movie is Eat, Pray, Love.
Mine is The Menu.
And Brian's is Ratatouille. We'll also have those on the last slide of our carousel on Instagram. I think that is all we have for this week. Where can everybody find us in between before next Monday?
At the Jack Maloney.
At Madeline_Mahoney.
And at Tess Treg.
We love you all so much. Keep that TV on. And until next Monday, that's a wrap.
Rappington.
Wow.